All right, we're live. We're live. Let's go. A pleasant hello to all, and welcome to the very first episode of an all new podcast called the Yap House, hosted by me, Charles Fleischer. I am very, very excited to be bringing you guys this podcast. This is something I have been wanting to do for a very long time, and now I finally have the opportunity to do it. The purpose of this podcast is to just be an all around fun podcast where we just get to come on here, share our stories, share our crazy moments that have happened throughout our lives, and hopefully it's going to be very, very fun. Now, if you look, like the quality of my camera is not the best. That's because this is obviously the first episode. We'll get better as we go along. If I can show you guys the webcam that I'm using. There you go. You can see it right there. It's not that great, but it's what I have. So, and you can also see that I don't have a mic either. A new one is on the way. A new USB microphone is on the way, so it should get here. It should get here this week, so I'll probably have it when I record the next episode. But yes, speaking of recording these episodes, I'll likely be recording these episodes every Sunday, and they will be released every Sunday. And you can expect a new episode around every Sunday evening. But anyway, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So episode one is basically just going to be like an introduction, kind of just like of me, and some things I've gone through in my life. I can like go through my life story kind of like a year at a time, and things like that. We can do a little sports talk, and I also have some viewer questions that I'll be answering, and then I can do I can do something like what I love about the college that I go to. So, ooh, it's raining outside, hard. Wow. But anyway, um, so what I am like, I am obviously very, very energetic. If you know me very well, you just see there's like a different energy in me that, you know, not a lot of people have. I have like multiple moods when I'm like really energetic, and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm like very serious most of the time. Well, I am like serious a lot of the time because I have lifetime goals. I want to. I obviously go to a school where I'm trying to like achieve my dreams. So it's very important that I'm serious for that. But really just outside of school, I just like to have fun. I just like to have fun. Talking to my friends. And trying new things. Just trying to try more and more things as I go throughout my life. So yes, I am entering my junior year at Louisiana State University. I am a mass communications major, which is like journalism, broadcasting, public relations, stuff like that. And yes, I am learning to be a broadcaster. I did a little sports reporting, but I'm trying to get into the broadcasting industry, and also I'm trying to get jobs there that kind of work with some of the sports teams. Like I applied for some jobs to work in the athletics department. Hopefully they get back to me soon. We'll go over what I love about LSU later. What I want to talk about is my life story. Some things I've gone through in my life. So if we flash back all the way to pre-K, that was like 2, 3 years old at the time. So between pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade, I actually changed schools back to back to back. Well, it was like this one school, and then this school, and then back to that school. Pre-K, it was like this private school next to this BMW dealership in our hometown. It was pre-K and first through sixth grade that I went to this private school. And although it was fun, I made some really good friends there. I just felt like at that point in sixth grade, like I needed something different. I was basically getting the same thing every year, and I decided to go public school like I did in kindergarten. I went to this little public school. It was basically for really, really young kids, like kindergartners, first graders. But seventh grade was my first year in the public school that I went to, our public middle school, and that changed my life dramatically. I think for me, seventh, eighth, and even through ninth grade, I just felt like I was the guy that was just kind of there. Like I had a lot of friends at that time, but I just felt like I was just kind of there. I was just like talking to a lot of people, and I was just kind of going through the motions of high school. Obviously, like trying to get good grades in my classes, but going through the motions of high school, just kind of soothing it out. I mean, obviously, we're just freshmen. And then my sophomore year of high school comes. I start to talk to a lot more people, make a lot more friends, and I start to figure it out a lot more. And then COVID hits. The reason why COVID sucked so bad for me, I mean, obviously, I couldn't really go out and do anything. Couldn't really talk to friends at all. It was just so boring. Like I couldn't find anything to do. I mean, the best thing I could do was just take walks and lift weights, but that kind of got boring every day. And I mean, yes, it was good for me, but it just got a little boring at that time. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I did play football in high school. I was not very good, never started, but I still had a lot of fun. Through 4 years of playing high school football. I mean, not really. It was just a really good way to. I mean, like for me, I obviously learned a lot. I like being what a team means, and those all those like team bonding things, and and learning to win the team. And now I feel like I can, lead any team that I want because I learned from the leaders on that team. So my junior year of high school was kind of weird because it was hybrid. There were some days where you go in one day and then you go all virtual the next day, and that was kind of weird. It took me some time to get to adjust to it. But I think at one point, like towards late in the year, we were finally like all back in person, and that felt really, really good. I thought it was just, great to see everyone again. We all missed each other. I think it was a big relief that we weren't all stuck at home, bored. I mean, at the same time, I know like nobody likes school, but yeah. Now, before we get to my senior year of high school, I do want to mention that I did go to a sleepaway camp for 4 summers. It's in the Poconos. If you don't know where that is, it's like kind of this area in Pennsylvania where it's like very mountainous, mountainous. I don't know how to say that kind of, but it's a very nice camp. Obviously old. A lot of the stuff looks old there, but they treat it very, very well. I just kind of wish they spent their money, renovating some of those sleepaway cabins and some of the equipment. But it was a lot of fun when I went there as a camper. And I had, and I as a 13-year-old, I stayed my first year there. I stayed there for 8 weeks. I was home. I was away from home for 8 freaking weeks. Like that sounds crazy, but I actually did it because if I didn't do it, I would obviously be stuck at home, not doing anything. And I actually debated, staying there because I was like kind of getting bullied. It was just something I wasn't used to, being home that far. And I talked to my division director, talked to my parents about it, and they just said to battle it out. You're there for a reason, and it's to have fun, make friends, try new things. And very fortunate that I took their word and I stayed there. And then that second half came, and then that pretty much inspired me to go back there every year for the next 3 years. And that place holds a special place in my heart because the friends I made I will remember for the rest of my life, and I'm never gonna forget it. My favorite memory of there obviously is winning. Like every at the end of every summer they have camp Olympics, 8 teams, and my team won 2 of the 3 years I was there. I was very fortunate to get that gold because I wanted it. Oh yeah, and then we get to the point where the camp was like kind of empty because it was basically the COVID summer. It was only 6 weeks compared to 8. It got delayed 2 weeks because two of the counselors actually caught COVID, and then we had to delay it for, and then they had to delay it for 2 weeks. So us campers couldn't get there for another 2 weeks, and we only had 6 weeks there, which was kind of stupid. But we had to deal with it. We had to make the most of it. And then once that last session came, there were only like 40 campers there. I mean, the average campers you get there on my side, teen side, there was like 150 up to 200 campers. And then there was only about 40, 50 campers there left, which was. Now, my senior year in high school was one for the ages because obviously you start with the fact that I interacted with my friends a lot more than ever. And I just tried to make the most of it. But the events that we had, I mean, obviously, all the seniors have those certain events every year. But those events we had were actually some of the best nights of my life to that point. We had our tux show, where us guys, dress in tuxedos. I had a white tuxedo. I can show you guys later, and girls in pretty dresses, obviously. And we just, walk down and walk across the stage, and then we get roasted by our president, which was pretty fun. And obviously, every year the high school has Olympics, and then we won. We won the Olympics finally our senior year. It was like a long time coming. I think we got like last every year prior, so that felt pretty good. I'm gonna get to graduation first, and then prom next. So the graduation ceremony was unbelievable. We had our graduation ceremony at our football field. We sat in the bleachers while our parents sat on the field, and that was a fun time. We graduated in the rain. Unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate with our graduation, but we dealt with it still. And then this was the best part. We spent like 5, 6 hours or so at MetLife Stadium doing a variety of activities. There was this magic trick guy there on the field. There were like bouncy things. There were like trampolines and stuff like that. There was zip lining, and then at the end there was a dance floor. And then you had those headphones that change when you that change the music, like when you switch it to a certain color, and that was really really fun. All right, now we can talk about prom because I did and did not have my ways with prom. The whole night was crazy. Let's just get that out of the way. The whole night was crazy. We went to this beautiful country club, and we had a lot of fun there. But it was just kind of like what was around it for me that did not really excel. If you guys don't know, I wore a purple suit to represent LSU, had my LSU hat on, and I also had a necklace too, which was I don't think anybody else could have worn. So, and I was very lucky at that tuxedo store. I was able to find like a dark purple suit that I wore, and I think this is the part where the FOMO like really came into me because let's start that I did not have a date to start, and I didn't go to prom with, I didn't go there with any friends or stuff like that. I went by myself on the bus that picked us up from the school and drove us to the place. You had pretty much everyone else that went by limo or van or something like that. So yeah, I was alone going there, and although it wasn't really the best experience, I mean, I was lonely a bit of the time. I think the problem with me that I had is that I was just asking people like way too late. You had people asking each other to prom and like actually asking each other to prom in like November, December, and even before that, and I didn't even think about it at all. So when I realized that, I thought that was something that I needed to improve on was planning ahead. But sometimes not everybody is going to cooperate with you. Sometimes they're going to change their plans last second, and that's something I have to really, really learn is to really, really trust people to make sure they're cooperating with you and planning ahead because you just never know if they might, like I said, change plans with you last second or not. So the pre-prom experience for me wasn't that great. I just went by school bus there, didn't have a date, didn't go with any friends and stuff like that. But the actual prom experience was outstanding. The music was phenomenal, and we all had a really good time. I'm sure all my high school friends would agree that it was legendary. But even then, 2 years later, I still just think about, what could I have done better to maybe have a better pre-prom experience and stuff like that. But then there's an after prom part, and this is when shit starts getting diabolical, to say the least. So one of the guys rents out this bar, this karaoke bar in New York City, and some of us go there, and it was very, very small, and it was uncomfortably small, that bar. There was no space to walk. There was this one part towards the left which had the most space, and that place had space, but if you get like a lot of people in that room, there's pretty much nowhere to walk. So it was very, very small for some reason. I don't know why he rented out that bar. I don't know why he rented out that bar when he could have found one a lot bigger. But he did. We had to pay him $80 just to get in. Crazy. And I'm just there kind of vibing. A lot of my friends were there, so a lot of my really good friends were there, so I could just talk to a majority of them, just hang out. But something happened there that I will remember to this day. I still have not forgotten about it, and I will likely remember it for the rest of my life. I had a little crush on this girl that I absolutely loved. She was absolutely gorgeous. She was at prom, despite the fact that she was a full year younger than me. Tends to happen sometimes. And she was at the after party too, in her beautiful purple dress. Oh my gosh, I don't think I can say this. I'm going to anyway, because I bet you guys want to know. I DM her, hey, meet me somewhere. Meet me right here. Then she comes to greet me. I legitimately ask her, will you be my first kiss? I love you. And sadly, she says, I'm sorry, not right now. And then you know what she does 5 minutes later? She proceeds to go into one of those rooms and make out with this other guy. And from that moment on, I gave up from there. I was like, there is no way this is happening to me ever again. And I just had to make sure, like, situations like those don't happen to me again. I don't want to put myself in that situation. It was almost as if like everyone had a partner there but me. I was just kind of like left out, just wandering around, doing nothing. And I felt it's crazy that I felt lonely there despite, all of my friends being there. So, but yeah, that is my prom experience. Roller coaster. I mean, the middle part of it was fun. The ends of it, oof. But I'm gonna remember them for the rest of my life, whether they were good or bad. So. Also during high school, I did some broadcasting, and this was very, very good because obviously I do want to be a broadcaster growing up. I commentated mostly basketball, but I also did a little bit of lacrosse. I did a volleyball game too, which was pretty fun. Yeah, it was mostly basketball. I mean, it was very fortunate that a majority of the basketball team was my best friends in high school, and just knowing them and getting to commentate them was a lot of fun. I even got to commentate their playoff games, which was probably the best time I had as a high school broadcaster. The atmospheres were electric, and some of the games we won during that, some of the games we played and won, especially during that senior season, were insane. I should probably use that footage to apply for broadcasting jobs now that I think about it. All right, let's answer a couple of the questions that you guys have sent me. Okay, here we go. So, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Ooh, I mean, I plan to see myself in the broadcasting industry, right? I'm really working hard to become a broadcaster, and even though, if I have to settle with being a journalist for this news station, I would really, really like to try to get some reps, commentating baseball, basketball, something like that. So, hopefully people see me, and I just want to show them what I can do. Um, what names do you have for your children? Oh man, I have not decided that at all. I mean, I'd probably. Ugh. That's honestly a question that I can decide later on. I don't want to. I don't want to really think about that too much right now. One concert you want to attend is The Weekend. One concert I want to attend, The Weekend, all the way. I hope he drops another album, goes on tour, and I hope he performs close to New Jersey, like MetLife Stadium, so I can go see him. I've been wanting to see him for a very long time now. I heard his concerts are pretty crazy. So someone asked me favorite song. I really don't have a favorite song right now. I just kind of listen to whatever I like. I listen to mostly hip hop and rap. I'm sorry for all you country and indie people out there and pop. Yeah, that's just what I like, and I'm trying to get into other music genres. What do I look for in a friend? I look for loyalty, trust, just and reliability, just really the basic things that and good personality too. Really just the basic things that embody a human being, you know what I mean? All right, I couldn't find any other good questions, so let's move on. All right, we're going to do a little sports talk. So, game two. So, this is being recorded. This podcast episode is being recorded on Sunday, and game two of the NBA Finals is tonight between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. Celtics took game one in dominating fashion. Kristaps Porzingis coming back in made an absolutely tremendous difference. He had like 20 points off the bench, something, three blocks, three or four blocks, I think. That one on Kyrie was insane. And so, what do the Mavericks have to do to get to win tonight's game is, or get back in this series, is they have to make more shots. Like you saw in game one that the Celtics just made more threes. The Celtics' strength is the three ball. The Mavericks have to have to outshoot the Celtics from the perimeter if they're going to have a chance to win the championship, or even just one game alone, because Celtics have not lost two games in a series so far in these playoffs. But there are times when, like I said in my preview video on TikTok, there are times when both teams can turn it on and off. So I'm just very interested to see who in the clutch is going to turn it on at the best time. You can either be Luka or Kyrie, you can either be Jaylen Brown or someone else, Jason Tatum, or hey, even Porzingis with the way he's playing. The Stanley Cup final, game two, also happened, and oh my goodness, man. Sergei freaking Bobrovsky. He is unreal. There's a reason why he's a Vezina finalist this year. He's likely headed to the Hall of Fame at this rate. But if he wins the Stanley Cup, that very likely solidifies his case to get to the Hall of Fame. He's won two Vezinas. He's done everything he could. He's closing in on 400 regular season wins. He's definitely going to get it next season. But when he first signed with the Florida Panthers, he was like bad. He was like underachieving, especially in the first playoff series he played against the Lightning. He was just horrible. And like last year, we were calling his contract one of the biggest disasters in hockey. And, he got benched in the first series last year against the Bruins. And then ever since he came back in this series, he's just been an absolute brick wall. And then he's been the key. He's been the absolute key for the Panthers on this recent success they've had. And now they're 3 wins away from their first ever Stanley Cup, which is just unheard of. But the reason why I love the Panthers the reason why I love the Panthers so much as a team is because they have a play style that's almost unbeatable. It's literally like, how do you beat a play style that wears you down more and more as the game goes along in a 7 game series? You get like ultra tired towards the end of the game. And, for the Oilers, they're going to have to just score and score and score. They outplayed the Panthers in game 1. They had like 30 something shots, and the Panthers only had like 15. They outplayed the Panthers in game 1, and they still lost 3-0. The Oilers don't have to change a thing. They just have to keep firing pucks on net. Eventually, they will get in the net. They will get past Bobrovsky, but I just think they have to. But if you really look at that game 1, there were some great chances they had, but not really open net chances. You really have to create some open net chances. You have to go high on them. Bobrovsky's strength is down low, and for the Oilers, in order to get back in the series, I think you have to kind of go high on them, make some like do some deflections or something like that, because I don't think anybody's beating Bobrovsky right now. So game 2 of that series is Monday, 8 Eastern on ABC from Sunrise, Florida. So yes, I am a Yankees fan, and we're doing very, very well this season, although we just lost the series to the Dodgers. Juan Soto has been out for this series. Very unfortunate. But hopefully that doesn't affect the Yankees too much. They've had an outstanding season. Aaron Judge is mashing like he should. And then a couple of unsung heroes, especially Luis Gil, who's been just unreal. I want him to be the number 1 starter before Cole returns. So it'll be like Cole, Hill, Clark Schmidt, Carlos Rodon, and Marcus Stroman. I think you send Nestor Cortez to the bullpen. I don't think he's performed the way we hope he could as that number 1 starter in place of Cole. So yeah, but we should be fine. I mean, the biggest thing for the Yankees now is just consistency. I just hope they stay consistent in winning these series they're supposed to win. And the regular season is not going to really matter at the end, because it's all about how well they do in the playoffs. And if they're fully healthy, we've seen the Yankees when they're fully healthy this season so far. They're almost impossible to beat. So hopefully the Yankees can get into the playoffs at full strength. And if they get there, I think they have a chance to win the World Series. All right, let's talk about something a little bit different. Let's talk about the NCAA baseball tournament. I mean, it's not really that different, but yeah. So this NCAA tournament, so this is only the second year watching the NCAA baseball tournament this year. And I bet there probably have been crazier tournaments in the past. But this one that we are experiencing this year, there are just absolutely no words. This has been one of the craziest sports tournaments I have ever witnessed in my life so far. I think on day 1, there were like 6 walk-off wins, like 7, 8 upsets. Like, it was absolutely insane. And even in just the regional round alone, you had some unbelievable games, like games that went down to the last pitch, like with both teams scoring double-digit runs. The whole regional round was just insane. I go to LSU, and unfortunately, we lost in the Chapel Hill Regional to North Carolina. It's okay, though. They're a very, very good team. They did make Omaha last night. So big shout out to North Carolina making it to Omaha. I certainly think they have a chance to win it all. All right, so you guys know that I go to LSU, and we're just going to talk a little bit about what makes LSU great and what I love about LSU. The campus is beautiful itself. You have the parade grounds with the tower in the middle. You have a lot of very pretty areas. I think a lot of the main buildings look great, like the Student Union, but the library needs to be fixed. Come on, LSU, put your money into the library to renovate it, please. But kind of like the iconic monuments of LSU just look like they're brand new. It's great. That's the campus itself. I mean, obviously, what is LSU without our athletics? I think our athletics are some of the best in the country. I mean, obviously, you have your basic sports like football, basketball, baseball, but we also have some sports that I think people are not really looking at that much, and that's like the kind of like the women's sports, like the women's basketball, the softball, the gymnastics, and stuff like that. I think football, I think for our football games, I think we do have the best atmosphere in the country. Death Valley at night, Tiger Stadium, you know the vibe. For basketball games, the PMAC, especially for the women's games, fills up pretty much every game. Sells out. I think women's basketball tickets for last season sold out. Season tickets sold out, so that was great to see. And the atmospheres in the PMAC are electric there too. Baseball, you have Alec Box Stadium. What else? I think Alec Box is the best stadium in the country for baseball, and I think the fans are the loudest. Our softball stadium is really, really pretty too. It's called Tiger Park. I was there. I've been there. I was there a lot this year, and to watch those girls play. And I had a lot of fun watching that softball team play. Unfortunately, they did not make the grand stage. They did not make the College World Series again. But hopefully they can make it next year. And then gymnastics. I really think a lot of people at LSU are underappreciating gymnastics because simply because of the atmosphere there. I went into my first I went to my first I went to a gymnastics meet for the first time, really not knowing what to expect. But then when I experienced it, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this a lot more. And I did. I went to pretty much every home gymnastics meet for the entire season, and I got my money's worth. It was incredible. And it's also very fortunate that I am now friends with a lot of the gymnasts there, so I can just like have a conversation with them, see how they're doing, see like what their routine is and stuff like that. It's a blessing to be, to get to know those gymnasts because they're amazing people, I'll tell you that. Obviously, I've made some of my best friends in the world at LSU. I wouldn't be who I am today without them, and I hope just get to continue to be friends with them throughout my life. Obviously, I'm a guy that likes to have a good time. I like to go out a lot. I'm gonna try to go out a little bit less since I have to, spend more time focusing on myself. But whenever I go out, I go to this bar called the House in Tigerland, and it's a lot of fun. I see a lot of friends there, have a couple drinks, and yeah. And hope the music is good too, because if the music is not good, then why am I there? We'll get more into my stories of LSU later. I just wanted to talk about like what I love about it. So, all right, guys, that is going to do it for episode 1 of the Yap House. I hope you guys enjoyed. Reminder: new episodes every Sunday evening. Episode 2, we'll try to get a guest on here. So, looking forward to that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.